Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter once again shows his prowess at making women uncomfortable. They sense something about him that is unwholesome.
I was talking to Emma there.
Well, stop talking to Emma when you should be listening to the programme.
I said I got up at 10 past
Emma's
7.
looking very attractive the more she becomes pregnant. She's getting far better looking.
What do you mean far better looking?
No, she's looking really...
That's not a compliment.
No, she's looking stunning.
I know it's meant as a compliment, but it's, I mean...
Would you not think anyone can always be better looking? I mean,
No.
It's impossible for me to be more handsome, but I'm talking about ordinary people.
You can't say to a girl you're getting better looking.
Yeah, you can.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, you can. You could go up to Marilyn Monroe. Not now, of course.
Right.
She's been dead
I'll
for
ask
50 years.
Emma.
Emma,
The
if
girl
I
that
said
you said it to.
okay, let me talk to Emma directly. Emma, if I say to you, you're looking great.
You're
getting
sticking
better
what?
looking.
You're sticking it well?
No, that's a different thing. I'm saying to her, she's looking stunning, I'm saying. And that doesn't mean to say that she didn't look well before that.
No,
See,
but that's what
a
you're
woman
looking...
can always look more beautiful, always. A woman can never be more beautiful, too thin or too rich. Always remember that. Always remember that, Sean. And listen when I tell you that I know about these things. I know how to talk to women. You do
I
too.
know you do.
But you
I
do
don't
too.
think that's one of your... I don't think that was one of your best lines.
Yeah, but let Emma decide. Ask Emma, was she flattered or indeed insulted by that remark?
She doesn't know you, say.
You see, she's always on your side.
No.
Anyway, that's Tony Joe White. Never mind, Emma. Look,
And
leave
you
her
keep
alone.
your hands off her.
I just give her a little...
You tickled her.
I know, but I wanted
You
to...
shouldn't tickle pregnant women.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. There was so much of it there.
You see?
I couldn't pass it. Now, that's a compliment. And now the story of two local lads who left for the shores of America during the 19th century were parted, but reunited under bizarre circumstances. Two guys who left County Derry, Mahara, that area, round about Mahara, and they were friends. And when they got to America, they split up and did various different things. One of them went off and gold mines, 49 or whatever it was, and the other one had a very interesting time, and he ended up being captured by the Indians. And would you hear this? He survived being scalped. That sounds like a first.
How did he survive?
Well, I think that's what happened to Barra Best. No, he's all right.
That's a terrible thing to say about wee Barra.
I just threw it in there.
Barra,
No,
I apologise.
I'm sorry, Barra. I mean, Barra's a nice guy. But, I mean, that could have happened to him and he's not telling anybody. But can you imagine being scalped and then you pass out and then you wake up and you look in the mirror and say, Jesus, boys, that's some haircut.
How do you expect Barra Best to come on the TV tonight and tell us the weather?
His hide is thicker than you think. That man hadn't... Any man who goes on TV must expect things to be said about him. But do you know how to... I know how to scalp a white man. Now, people don't know. Do you see in the movies? What you do is you see him going, hello, white man. And you see him jump off his horse and the white man's like, oh, don't scalp me, mister. Don't scalp me, mister. I just got a haircut. You see, and he grabs a white man by the hair and he goes, fight! And then he holds up, I'll scalp a white man. Like that. It's not as easy as that. When I was in America not so long ago, I was doing a documentary about a scalp hunter who was from Antrim. His name is James Kirker. Did you ever see that movie, The Scalp Hunter, with Burt Lancaster in it? Hello?
No, I'm listening to you.
Oh, yeah,
You told me not to interrupt you.
No, but I asked you a question. Did you ever see that movie, The Scalp Hunter, with Burt Lancaster in
I
it?
said I don't know.
You don't know if you saw it or not?
No, you did tell me about it. Is it about a boy scalp hunting?
Yes. It's about a man who was the head of a band of desperados who ran around scalping Indians because they got $200 a pelt.
But did they not scalp Mexicans as well?
Yes, they did. That's the whole point, because you can't tell the difference between a Mexican scalp and an Indian scalp. So you'd say, there's a Mexican scalp him, that's a couple of pound there, look. Scalp him now. Radio Ulster is the only radio station in the world where a person can tune in of a morning and receive detailed instruction on how to scalp a white man. City Beat never did that, even when Nolan was there. And I go into an Indian camp and I see you standing there with your fellas in your loincloth. What would I say to you? I recognise you right away.
You would say, look at their legs and him. I don't know. Wouldn't you?
No. Oh, no, sorry, I got that wrong.
What?
The man came in and discovered the guy it was the Indian guy who spoke to him.
So now, am I the cavalry man coming in?
Now, you're the cavalry man coming in, and you see me. And you go,
Ooh boy, easy boy.
what are you doing?
So I'm stopping the horse.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh boy, easy boy. Well, I do declare, I recognise that man there. Hey, you, Indian. What's your name, Indian? I recognise that face.
How are they all in Mahara? Wow. That's what he said.
Is that right?
That's what he said. How are they all in Mahara? Now, incidentally, apparently it says in the paper, but I don't believe this, but it may well be true.
Even though he's from Maharafelt.
Maharad was.
Was it? Right.
Yeah, he brought Maharafelt into it.
Right.
For no reason. Anyway.
I always get mixed up in Maharafelt and Mahara.
There's no reason for it. You just leave out the felt, as Emma wished I'd done this morning. The programme attracts poets, some good, some mediocre, some downright rank. But the point is they come to the presenter. There is no room at the inn for them anywhere else.
On Radio Ulster, just after 10:30, you're invited to listen to two rambling men. Their feet don't move, but their tongues will toil. They're Jerry Stroke Anderson and Nosy Sean Coyle. They interrelate in more ways than one as they banter and chuckle while having fun. The devilish duo who rant and rave were thrown off a course on how to behave. Coyle interruptus just wouldn't shut up, while Anderson was deemed as far too abrupt. They coax and challenge and act the tit, as one tells the other he's simply not fit. Sean with his ailment attempts a derailment when Jerry begins to speak. The latter will chatter while the former will natter, each of them far from meek. As for music, they're each at extremes. Jerry moves forward and Sean just dreams. I'm a regular listener, tune in every day. I listen intently to what they will say. When they go into character and a story begins, I marvel at the mimics of the theatrical twins. Jerry has a memory that is second to none, but he tends to embellish what he has done. Sean will correct him before a full stop. He's the comma in his sentence, the inquiry cop. Back and forth they bounce denial, each the jury in an unscripted trial. They argue and reason, but when all's said and done, the Derry duo perform as one.
That's very good. That's very
Okay,
good.
Jeff.
He who saves a hen's life goes to work on an egg. Here the presenter relates the saga of the saved battery hen, guaranteed to evoke a tear from all right-thinking people who value feathers. So whenever the hens reach the end of their natural life, in other words, they're not really laying as well as they did before, they retire them. And you know what retiring means for a hen? It means good night, chicko. So what these people do is they go along and they say, let me take these little hens off your hands. It's no sweat of their noses, or wherever it is their sweat is off. So they take the hens out, and these hens have never seen daylight, never seen grass, never seen any form of human kindness. So what they do is they ask people to take them. So if I was to take a hen, I would take a hen. They just need a little place for them to go, maybe a little outhouse, maybe a bit of ground round the back. You put them in the wee outhouse, and apparently what happens is they stand there for about 2 or 3 days, and they look around them, and they realise that there's nobody standing beside them. You know, it's like living in the tube in London, and then suddenly there's nobody in the tube, and then you stand there, and there's nobody in the train. And then apparently what they do then is they go over and they look out the door and they go, Jesus, boys, there's a world out there. Jesus, boys, what's all that green stuff? What's that thing in the sky? That'll be the sun. I might go out there and have a look. And then apparently they age out. Then they start to peck. And then what happens is that the people who have the hen, they go out there and then they start to stroke the hen, comfort it. Then the hen becomes a valuable member of society. So what you do is you save a life.
Are you getting one?
No. Because I've been hurt before by hens. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.